In this video, we'll talk about the settings area of Sage Construction Management so you'll see all the different areas that can be customized. We'll return to settings frequently in these training videos to discuss how settings affect specific features in more detail. We open settings by selecting the gear in the upper right corner of the window. The settings page has its own left navigation bar, with several distinct types of settings. I'm not going to go through all these settings in this video. For now, we'll just call out a couple of the more general settings. On the settings home page, we can upload our company's logo, as we have here. The default report templates that come with Sage Construction Management show this logo in the top left of the page, and you can modify your own reports to include your logo as well. You can also change the company shipping and billing address, select a company type, and more. As you can see, I am showing my browser. If you go into edit mode, as I am doing by selecting edit, and you want to return to the previous page, use your back button on the browser. If you want to return to the home page of Sage Construction Management, select the Return to Application button on the left side navigation panel. Note that you cannot change your company name or org ID. If these need to be changed or corrected, please email sagecmsupport@sage.com. Our development team can usually fix these for you by the end of the next business day. Notice that you can also set alerts from this page. These are the types of alerts you'll receive on the Sage Construction Management homepage when you first log in. Note that alerts are user-specific, and each user will need to set their own. You can also select your favorite features. These are the ones that appear on the project homepage, and are also listed in the Jump to Page button. Note the favorites are user-specific, and each user will need to set their own. Let's look at the company settings area. The topics in this group affect broad areas of the system. By selecting company setting and then global settings, we see this page lets us set the default currency. Currency can be changed for individual projects, so select the currency you use most often. You can also establish the fiscal year start and rounding settings. If you're just getting started on your implementation, the transaction locking setting is important to consider. You'll find more details about this in the handout. While you work on your implementation, before going live, we recommend you select option 1, No Locking. This lets any user with permissions to a transaction type modify those records at any time, and this gives you flexibility as you test features and prepare to implement. Option 2 lets any user with administrative user permissions to a transaction type select the lock checkbox for that transaction. Only administrators can unlock a transaction once it's locked. Option 3 is preferred after your integration with an accounting system, such as Sage Intacct Construction, is complete. This automatically locks transactions that have been exported to the accounting system. This setting works together with settings under Feature Settings for Contract Administration and Procurement, and we'll go over those settings in upcoming lessons. Let's move to the security area. The security section lets you view the available security roles and define new ones if needed, but we've found that the default roles provided fit the needs of most organizations. From here, select Help Center in the upper right corner. In the search field at the top, type in Default Security Roles, and select the search icon to the right. This will display a listing of help available. Select Company Settings, Default Security Roles, and you will be presented with the listing of the default roles. Notice that when I went to the Help Center, it has its own tab. So, you can close it, or select the Sage Construction Management tab, and leave Help Center available. I'm going to close Help Center for now. Back under Company Settings, the Users page lets you see users of the system with their assigned roles. We'll talk all about time cards in the lesson on HR employees. An administrative user can access all tasks and features including security roles and user changes. They can see employee pay rates and configure the accounting link when you integrate with an ERP system. A financial administrator has fewer permissions, but they can see employee pay rates and manage the accounting link. The cost codes page lets you upload sets of standard cost codes that you'll use in projects. Notice that you can upload multiple sets of cost codes. For example, I have CSI, CSI 95, and NAHB sets here. If we select Import Classifications from Excel button, the page that appears has a link to View Help topic with sample import files. Select it and then in the search field, enter Import Cost Codes to locate help on the subject. Returning to the Cost Codes page in Company Settings, I will close the tabs I have opened and select Cost Codes again. These groupings are called classifications, and they're just one type of classification. Classifications appear in other areas of the software, and we'll discuss all the different types of classifications in upcoming lessons. The cost codes you set up in settings are known as your master cost codes, and are available in many areas of the system. You'll have project cost codes, and you'll also use them for estimates, purchase orders, and subcontracts, change orders, invoices, and so on. Note that you don't have to establish master cost code lists right away. You can simply create individual cost codes on estimates, projects, and elsewhere, especially if you're just learning the system. However, establishing master cost code lists in settings lets you import standard cost codes directly from the master list into estimates, projects, contracts, and procurement records. This keeps your financial documents and reporting clean and organized. We suggest that you gather consensus on which cost codes you will need from your finance team, contract admin team, project management team, procurement team, and estimators. Consider keeping the list narrowed to only the cost codes you use to keep the list manageable. Cost codes can be sectioned into 4 tiers or levels. The first level when you click into a classification group is the division. The number of digits in each tier can vary depending on which master list you select. You can drill down in each division to see all cost codes in the next tier. First is major, then minor, and then sub-minor. And remember, you can jump back to different levels using the breadcrumbs at the top. Notice that none of my cost codes include any cost type or cost resources, such as labor, material, equipment, subcontract, or other. This is because those are tracked in the system and can be automatically applied to any cost code for which you set up a transaction. I'll come back to the subject of cost codes in later videos. For now, just remember that setting up one or more tiers, or levels of master cost codes, gives you added consistency and efficiency throughout your projects. The Templates and Reports area lets you upload different types of templates, such as scopes, inclusions and exclusions, checklists, markups, and more. The Feature Settings group has lots of additional features related to each module, and again, I'll come back to settings in each lesson to discuss the areas relevant to the topic I cover. To close settings, I'll click Return to Application. Sometimes it's easy to forget how to open and close settings, so I'll show you that again. Click the gear icon to go to Settings, and then click Return to Application to close settings and return to Sage Construction Management. In this video, you learned about Sage Construction Management settings. Don't worry, we'll return to settings repeatedly in these videos so you'll learn about how each option affects the processing in Sage Construction Management.